Alright, follow the road to Shiring. Let's do this.
As we rode, Aliena expressed relief that Percy Hamley held court in Shiring town during the Fleece Fair, and not in her father's castle. I had not yet confessed to Aliena that I blamed myself for her father's fate. I felt the guilt and shame starting to rise when we came to a large group of peasants looking as desperate as the refugees that had come from Earl's castle back then.
Talk to peasants. Yeah.
Philip stopped to talk to the peasants, and so did I. Of course he couldn't pass by people in need of help. Not even when he was on his way to try and save Kingsbridge from another attack by the Hamleys. Two of the peasants broke into tears and begged for food. Philip was mortified as they grabbed the hem of his robe and pleaded for mercy. They said they were from Wigley. They had illegally erected a mill and hadn't paid taxes to the Earl of Shiring for grinding flour. I bit my lip when they mentioned the title that used to belong to my father. As punishment, the Earl had destroyed their mill. Philip seemed unsure what to say about Percy Hamley's punishment for these peasants. I was less hesitant. I asked why they'd built an illegal mill. The peasants told us that milling taxes had doubled in their village. The peasants shouted and cried that the Earl had also burnt their fields, destroyed their houses, and taken their livestock from them. A few of them had even been killed. Philip told them to go to Kingsbridge for food. As we rode on, he said nothing. Maybe he had begun to lose hope that he would ever solve his problems with the Earl in Shiring.
I had never trusted the Hamleys, but it seemed I had grown careless over the years. They had thus far kept their word to King Stephen, but now I felt I should have known that they would eventually break it. As I was thinking these grim thoughts, we passed by a gallows with two men dangling by their necks. An old woman stood by one of the corpses and snarled at us.
Of course we'll
The
talk
old
to
woman
her.
looked at us like a cornered animal. Philip demanded to know what had happened. She cackled and shook her head. She continued looking through the dead men's clothes. She'd already taken off their shoes and found a couple of coins on one of the corpses. Only now I realized that someone had tied foxtails to the corpses. Their hands had been cut off and their faces were burnt.
What does that mean? Oh.
I asked with a stern voice what had happened to the men. The old woman cackled and said that they had played with fire. When Philip asked that she should, by God, answer my question, she became serious. She told him that these men were poachers caught by the Earl's men hunting in his forests. Philip rode on, and when I caught up with him, I could see that now, more than ever, he was determined to talk to Percy Hamley.
Seem to be running a tight regiment here, the Hamleys. So let's...
Aliena rode by my side without knowing
the
that
last
I
bit.
had long been responsible for her family's fate. Ever since I had made the mistake of trusting Waileran by God. I felt like a fly in a cobweb. Every move I made seemed to lead to further calamities. But then I heard Aliena as she sped past me. "Shiring," she exclaimed.
Oh! Well, that was a short rest of the chapter. If I'd known that, I could have made my break here. But yeah. Chapter 10, The Rise of Kingsbridge. What you did. You did your best to finish your corbel. With Ellen's and Milius's support, you managed to help the Fullers. Alfred hates you, and you took revenge on him. After Richard's death, Sir Catface is trying to reclaim the earldom for Aliena. You visited Cuthbert and told Brother Arnaldus we will bury him. You destroyed 2 wasp nests. How many were there? I probably missed one, right? Chapter 11. The new Earl, Percy Hamley. I mean, he's been Earl for like 5 years, right?
This is him.
A face like that never changes. If anyone can get you an audience with the Earl, it's Sheriff Eustace.
I hope Percy Hamley will show more understanding with us than he did with the people of Wigley. I'm concerned what kind of man Percy Hamley must have become to kill people for mere poaching. Good day, Sheriff. I must talk to the Earl. It's a legal matter of utmost urgency.
Get in line, monk.
Are they all waiting to see him?
What did you expect on court day, monk?
I fear this is going to take a while.
I'll go look for Sir Catface. Seeing that he's going into battle, he needs equipment.
In the meantime, let's hope I can persuade the Earl to rethink this breach of our agreement.
I'll talk to Meg about the sales of the priory's wool as well. We will find a way to keep the cathedral's construction going, Phillip, with or without the stone and timber they took from us.
We must.
Catface asked for money. Now, where is he? He won't get any. Everyone seems to ignore him. Even the sheriff wonder why.
The end is upon us, but our Earl will lead us to salvation.
Is that so?
A hard hand for hard times. It will all make sense. You will see.
No, he's talked himself into a rage.
As it is written in the book of Matthew.
Has the queue not moved at all?
We stand like pillars of salt. But I'm sure the Earl will accept petitioners soon. I hope it's before the workers at Kingsbridge leave the construction site because I cannot pay them.
All wait to see the Earl. Court day. They don't look very confident.
If they hadn't replaced Father, I could have helped them.
Things are taking place that will lead our
Sheriff
generation
Eustace.
to an
Good day, Sheriff. Will these people have to wait much longer?
If you have a complaint, talk to the Earl.
I don't think he even recognizes me anymore. Shouldn't you be by the Earl's side to be his advisor?
Our Earl is no use for me today, but I think you'd be to his liking. Go ahead and wait for your
Open
turn.
your eyes. The signs are all around.
Excuse me, Sheriff.
Speak to the Earl.
Our food is
I remember
rotting.
him. Used to be loyal to
Our
my
animals
father.
dying. Our homes crumbling. How many
Reminds
of
me
you
of
have
father.
fallen from grace since
Other
you
merchants offer
spied
cloth and
Ellen's
felt,
demons?
sell for higher prices, easier to transport. But fulling wool is tough and expensive.
The wilting of Shiring is an omen
Oh, there's Meg.
of the things to come.
Good quality. But I'm not here to buy anything.
And our Earl will be the new apostle to lead us to salvation when the end comes.
Looks like trouble. Some customers are stubborn as mules. A
Our
particularly
Earl
unreasonable
sings,
case.
and our Earl acts.
A beautiful sight, dry enough to sell at full price, most of it already sold.
But we are not lost.
My business
We must
partner in
prepare
Shiring.
ourselves.
Wouldn't be in this strait without her.
I'm taking my business elsewhere.
Good to see you, Meg. I'm here to collect the money we've made so far.
Excuse me. We were in the middle of something.
What's the problem?
Even you merchants have become thieves. What a rotten place this has become.
He ordered the cartload of wool weeks ago, but now he refuses to pay the price we'd agreed upon.
Let's think about why the prices are so high this year.
So you can put more money into your pockets?
Actually, the Earl has raised all fees. It costs more to pass the gate, to set up shop, to get a license, and to trade.
I suppose. but the price is not as was agreed.
Did you use a tally to record the price?
But, are you with the sheriff? Just who are you, woman?
I am the owner of this business.
Oh,
Here's our half, Aliena.
Now, would you kindly hand me your part of the tally?
Address problem.
There are more notches on our part.
2 pieces, 2 different prices.
Granted, adding notches to our part would have been much easier.
aha! You're admitting it.
But the area with missing notches is thinner than the rest.
You're right. It looks like something was carved off.
What? Are you saying I'm a fraud?
Look, times are hard for all of us. I won't report you to the sheriff.
This wool will not make enough cloth for all of my master's servants' clothes. Let alone all the shirts he wants for himself.
Whoever pays servants and wants to wear many shirts should be able to pay the price for quality wool like this.
Quality? Yes, but it is not high quality. Now that you mention it, I see it. I cannot pay that much money for bad wool like this.
Now he's doubting the quality.
Fine. Then let me prove the quality of my wool.
Ha! Just you try.
Piece of the wool we're selling, good quality.
Outrageous.
What
Let's
do I do with it?
negotiate.
Maybe another fleece on top.
You're trying to rip me off.
Let us work out a compromise.
Meg is managing this store for me.
Daylight robbery.
We agreed on...
First you say one thing, and then you say another. Is this how you treat all your customers?
Oh, we need a third party.
I'll find an expert and prove it.
I'm waiting.
Maybe
not
at the
the price we
cloth
agreed on.
stall? I don't
It's
know.
what we agreed on. Both of
I
us.
thought you had more to spare than that.
No, I'll keep the wool.
Daylight robbery.
We agreed on the price.
Our valued customer would only dismiss them as my accomplices.
I'm taking my business elsewhere.
Please, calm down.
How's your family?
You're
Maybe
trying
the
to rip me
beggar
off.
knows.
Let us work out a compromise.
No, maybe I should look for an expert from the outside. Someone not from
Outrageous.
here.
How
Let's
am I supposed to
negotiate.
keep a family warm and
Okay.
feel like this?
Alright, who do we have? A blacksmith, a girl carrying meat, a bread vendor, monks, Flemish merchants. That's probably a good idea. Let's talk to the other people here as well, though. Who are you? Carrying a hunk of meat. At her age, I only ran around for play. City looks in bad
What
shape.
are you carrying there?
Not for sale. Or eating. Don't steal! Go away!
Oh, I didn't mean to upset you.
Oh,
Where did you get this?
I'm not a thief. A man in the tavern promised me a bread crust if I fetch this from the market for him. I'm just taking a little break.
You look hungry.
Are you saying I should keep it? Nuh-uh. Thieves get hanged. I'll be good.
Oh, of course. Would you be free for a sales discussion later today?
Ah, Lady Aliena, for you I will always find time.
I've heard business is slow.
Not for me it isn't. Plenty of knights need my services. His men have cleaned up well, I'd say. It suits me just fine that the Earl has swept the criminals off the streets. And those complaining about money and fees were never my customers or my friends.
Weapons merchant is a law and order kind of guy. Who would have thought? It's the bishop's castle. What little Walleran could build. Philip told me about his plans. Looks more like a ruin rather than an unfinished project, but sure. East gate leads to Winchester. Any craftsmen who weave and dye wool. Shiring suffers, but the blacksmith is still here. Good bargain for excellent quality. I bet Jack would love to talk with him sometime. Bread looks old, hard as bricks, doesn't sell well. Monks usually keep to their monasteries. Seen them before? Not in Kingsbridge. Maybe Winchester? A fleece fair means merchants. Flemish are the most respected of the trade. If I could only negotiate with them, life would be easier. Supposed to be a beautiful building of hope. Or building of hope. Tom's Cathedral was meant to even surpass this. North Gate leads to Kingsbridge. Would be nice to travel with Jack. Must tell everyone about us soon.
Can I interest you in some horse bread?
Is that the only kind you have here?
It's the only one that hasn't gone green yet, I think.
If you sell green bread, your customers will get sick and you'll get into trouble.
What? Are you with the sheriff?
No, don't worry.
I'm just too lawful good. Second time I've been asked that today.
Everyone seems to be afraid of Sheriff Eustace. I always heard he was a fat and lazy man.
It's not him. It's the Earl. Killed a good friend for milling without permission yesterday. Buried him under the rubble of his mill.
What? Shouldn't you make fresh bread?
If I could afford it. If you bring grain from outside the town, you must pay taxes nowadays. My friend's mill out there was a blessing. Sometimes he even let me use it for free, which was why they killed him. And I can't afford using the Earl's mills here in town.
Seems like they're strangling the economy quite a bit.
Excuse me, do you know if something happened in Shiring? I know we suffer because of the war, but the town never used to seem this grim and hopeless.
Yeah.
Oh, we wouldn't know. We are but pilgrims in search of God's miracles. And a saint
you
will
now?
heal my foot. And my eyes. But yes, Shiring seems to hold no miracles these days. We heard the Earl is punishing his people for his own entertainment.
I heard so too. How is your pilgrimage going?
Always moving forwards. And sometimes backwards, because of my foot.
I don't have any business in there now.
Aren't you tired of Christian art? Their sad faces and dull colors are always giving me a foul mood. Just like this town.
I agree. I'd prefer to see lush paintings of the fine things in life.
Maybe I should start painting.
What would your first masterpiece be?
I'm thinking fruits and decorative objects, arranged on a luxurious tablecloth.
At least you could take
Oh,
your time
God.
with that. Fruit doesn't rot that quickly.
Nerdy art references about still lifes. I love
Maybe I
it.
could sell my paintings at markets.
You haven't painted your first one yet, and you're already thinking about selling it.
Excuse me, would you care to give me your opinion on the quality of this wool?
Of course. Please, show us. Oh, how wonderfully soft.
And what thorough scouring. There isn't a hint of dirt or grease.
The fiber is exceptionally fine, and the color is even and light.
Suitable for high-quality garments.
I'm glad you think so too. Would you be so kind as to confirm this to a customer of mine, should the need arise?
Of course. Just send them our way.
With all these taxes and the shrinking markets, I wasn't sure whether visiting Shiring would still be worth it. But for that quality of wool, I'll say it is.
Lovely.
You're trying to rip me off.
Let us work out a compromise.
It's all too expensive.
I'm taking my business elsewhere. I'll take my business elsewhere.
There are Flemish merchants just a few streets away. They were very interested in my wool, and they would be delighted to confirm its quality to you.
Anyone can let their friends lie for them.
Good question.
It is sad, but it seems we can't find an agreement. Keep your money, good man. We'll sell to somebody else. I was made an offer by the Flemish merchants, but I declined. I'm a merchant with principles, and we promised the wool to you. They'll be delighted to hear the good news.
No, wait. Maybe we can negotiate. My master would not want me to leave here with empty hands.
Ooh.
Competing with foreigners and nobility is no trifle. They're relentless and have deep pockets.
Aliena.
But if you prefer to take your chances...
No, wait. I'm taking the wool, all right.
I don't want to ruin you.
My master can afford it, he just doesn't want to. And he has a temper. God damn it. You show no mercy, do you?
A pleasure doing business with you.
Next time he'll buy elsewhere, I'm afraid. A good merchant always strives for a deal that feels like a victory for both sides. Remember that.
We don't need customers like him, and we have our money.
Yes, and you have my thanks.
One more thing. Could you try to get Ovid's Amores for me when you travel to Winchester? It's a book.
Yes, I can ask Brother Theobald. His book collection is more comprehensive than the church would like.
Then he'll be the right one to ask. Thank you.
No problem at all.
Give money to Phillip and Sir Catface.
Get them before the Earl does.
He's tense.
Patience is a virtue.
Oh god. Can I give it all to him?
Repent, for the kingdom of heaven is upon us.
Here.
I'm astonished that you can still find trade in times like these. I can only repay you with my gratitude for now. And our priory's wool, of course.
Things are taking place that will lead our generation.
It should be enough to keep our workers around until I have solved our problems with Percy Hamley. But Tom said that without stone and timber, we will have to stop construction in a month.
You must speak to the Earl. I still have to give Sir Catface his money. But then I'll come and wait with you.
From the looks of it, I'll be standing here for quite a while.
How many of you have fallen from grace, seduced by hell's demons? The wilting of Shiring.
So, where do I want to go? I don't know. Do I need to move the map a little bit? Street? Maybe? Oh, that's just... okay. Where's Sir Catface? Oh, wait. Tavern District. Drunkard. The town drunk. Gazes into the fire, more absent-minded than usual. How long have they been here? What are they waiting for? Seem lost in thought. Taverns used to be well visited. One could barely find a seat. There were many more patrons. Joy is a rare sight today. Must be the drink and despair.
I have to give money to my knight. I don't have reason to disturb them. I've seen enough sorrow. I don't have time to deal with drunks.
No right thoughts enliven me while my stomach's hollow. You hear? Fill us up.
So you haven't had a right thought all day.
Maybe I'll be the next Earl then. Oh, that's awful. I compose my verses.
Do you ever work?
The Earl burned down the old man's mill.
No mill, no work.
How's business?
Slow.
Well, at least you still have your regulars.
Even in bad times, people drink. The Earl of Shiring has imposed new laws and taxes, and it makes times very bad for us.
What's your secret to success? You know, running a tavern.
People will give their last shirt for pleasant distractions. Especially when they have a lot they want to be distracted from. Would you like to order?
Thank you, but I'm just here to see Sir Catface and his men before the battle.
Is he really called that?
Would you like to order?
Thank you. It's for guests only.
Lead to guest rooms and other luxuries. I wonder how many guests can afford this.
There is nothing of interest up there. I'm not staying the night.
Sir Alonso de Toledo. Some compare swordplay to dance, a competent ally. Sir Simond of Stapleford, around Richard's age. Oh, there he is.
Any new information on Maud's army, Sir Alonso?
Robert of Gloucester will bring the Angeline. There are said to be 1,000 men. But Stephen will bring more, and we'll be with him to lead the charge.
Does Robert of Gloucester have skilled men fighting for him?
Oh, let's hope so.
Victory and glory will be ours, one way or another.
Are you ready for the battle?
It's my duty to be ready.
Good. He's probably thinking about the upcoming battle. I hear you will face Empress Maud's army, Sir Simond.
We will do battle on the beautiful grounds of the illustrious Lincoln Castle.
Don't say it like that. She'll think we just go in there for the landscape.
Ah, but what a magnificent picture it makes.
Oh, just don't let yourself get distracted by the beauty, Sir Simond.
As you won't be there, I'm hopeful that I can focus on directing my blows at the enemy, my lady.
Ooh, we have a charmer here.
Are you ready for the battle?
I'm very excited. I don't care if we win or fall as long as it's in the name of the king.
Kink.
What a glorious way to
In the
die.
name of the kink. I'd fight for that.
I'll remind you of these bold words when you lie in a pool of your own blood.
I'm pissing shit.
You're going to be there to watch me, right?
Yes.
Any other sights along the way?
We'll ride through the King's Forest. The crowns of the trees are especially lush this time of year.
If you wouldn't always insist on the scenic route, we would arrive much quicker where we are supposed to be.
I shouldn't distract him anymore. He needs to focus on the battle ahead.
Alright, that's a lot of tankards, by the way. Here he is, drinking and bragging to lift his spirits before the battle.
Today, we ride for Lincoln. The drinks are on me.
So that's where you're spending
Taverner.
that money.
Another round for the whole place.
You're the best, Gilbert.
It's Sir Catface.
Nonsense. We're all brothers, right?
Indeed we are.
Wonderful. Brothers in arms we are.
And here I thought you needed my money for new armor.
Oh, I do. What's a knight without a mighty sword? I saw Alonso's when he was bathing in a river.
Dios mío.
All jokes aside, with men-at-arms so well equipped, how can I face King Stephen with anything less?
And inferior armor may cost him his life.
Only the best for the best.
Could you be more responsible with my money?
Every coin is spent to fulfill your father's wish. What's more responsible than that? Do you want William Hamley to become Earl of Shiring, or your son?
What kind of question is that? If we're lucky, then he will never return from the Holy Land.
He already did.
What?
It had been a short battle. Robert of Gloucester's men had lost. At first, I wasn't sure who that knight was. He wore the cross. He must be a crusader, I thought.
No. Don't do it. Please. Have mercy. My God, please. Don't.
Damn.
Then I heard our king calling out his name.
William Hamley, join me. We ride.
I didn't want to upset you.
You what?
We owe it to everyone to put this monster down. Not only to your father. William Hamley is a madman.
Mind your tongue. You speak of the son of the Earl of Shiring.
I pledged my loyalty to Bartholomew and his family, and there it shall remain. Percy Hamley has no right calling himself Earl. The son of Lady Aliena will be the heir to Shiring.
Bartholomew went against our king and lost his title and his land. It's not wise to pledge your swords to a dead traitor.
What did you just say?
Not easy.
You backstabbing turncoat.
Calm down. Do you want to slaughter each other and help the enemy?
Accusing me of treason. You're most loyal man at arms.
It's me or the Hamleys. Pick a goddamn side.
Maybe I can get them to stop quarreling. Maybe?
You disparage me for stating the truth.
No good
I've
way
always
to
been your
prepare
most
for a
loyal man at
fight. They
arms.
should focus.
Have I not?
An apology would solve this.
I'm sorry. You see? There's nothing to it.
I said nothing wrong.
Inactions may be, but your words tell a different story.
Would you like to order?
Thank you, but I'm just...
I thought I could maybe order them around.
I'm just trying to keep you grounded.
How dare you defend that backstabber Percy Hamley and his blonde bastard of a son?
Do they often fight like that?
Ah, they're both very proud. Give them a few days, they'll get tired.
They don't have that long.
was about to say, that's a long time. In a situation
Percy
like
Hamley's
this.
title is a fact, not an opinion.
I've collected our earnings, Sir Catface.
Ah, finally someone I can rely on.
Can't believe this.
I'm sorry, but I can't let you go into war arguing like this.
We're gonna go either way. It is not, and he does not deserve it.
Obviously, they have no idea how to settle a conflict
This is not
without
about
a
who
fight.
says what. The king appointed him. You should come to terms
Obviously,
with that
they
fact.
have no...
What did you just say?
Oh no.
I doubt that would help to stop their quarrelling.
I'd rather talk to my horse than listen to your insults.
Very mature.
That won't help. How would you solve a quarrel like the one over there?
Everyone has their own way of coping with aggression. Food, gambling, or solace in the arms of a wench. Luckily for me, most resort to drinking.
I doubt that'll work here.
Don't say that too loud. Try this.
Do you want to say something?
Flatbread soaked in dark sauce. Simple but rich in flavor. What do I do with it? Give it to Alonso?
The taverner gave this to me. I don't want to ruin his business by giving it away for free.
What? Don't get it.
Even if he was hungry, he wouldn't admit it.
Like, why? I don't get it.
If they're hungry, they can order food.
Can't we just forget about it?
Never.
The taverner gave this to me. I don't want to ruin his business by giving it away.
Yeah, I don't get it. Do I need to do something outside of the
If they're
tavern?
hungry, they can order food. The taverner gave this to me.
Right. So, barrels? Rarely see wine outside of the church. Tavern must have a few rich patrons. So Catface has always had a taste for it too.
The taverner makes money with each tankard he sells. And with each tankard, his customers are more willing to buy.
Could we give him some wine?
Well, high-quality wool makes me merry as well.
Huh.
I doubt that would help to stop their quarrelling.
Really? I'm not so sure.
Would you like to order?
Thank you, but... I'd rather not alarm anyone. I don't want to waste it.
Maybe I gotta do something outside. Who else did we have here? Monks? Well, yeah. Before I look around too much, I think I'll end this episode here. And I'll see you back in the next one. Goodbye.